Hello students, now we can see commerce. So unit 10, company law and secretarial practice. Under this lesson name is company secretary, and here some subtopics are given. The subtopics are company secretary, qualification of company secretary under this statutory qualifications and other qualifications. Then third topic is appointment of company secretary, and the fourth topic is functions and duties of company secretary. Under this it is classified into statutory functions and non-statutory functions. Up to this we are going to see in this lesson. Now the meaning of company secretary. A company is an artificial being, though a company is a legal entity. It has no physical personality such as neither a mind nor body of its own. Though not visible, company having an image or appearance exists only with its rules and by laws. Any company cannot act by itself. It needs one or group of people to operate it. So this is called to be as a company secretary. Besides operating the company, there are number of functions holding responsibility and need to take care, such as directing the workforce towards productivity, managing the smooth functioning, supervising the overall performance of the company. The person who is responsible for the general performance of an organization is called to be as a company secretary. Here, the key managerial personnel, that is KMP, who run a company is called with different titles, was directors, managers or secretary. The word secretary has originated in Latin word, that is secretarius, which means secret. As we know, secret refers to something which is not disclosed and kept as confidential. Some information should be kept very confidential in all the companies. Hence, a person is appointed to perform activities which are confidential in nature and manage the day-to-day business of the company. The person who steers the company holding the administrative, financial and overall performance of the company is called to be as company secretary. The next is definition. According to section 2 subsection 24 of the Companies Act 2013 defines company secretary or secretary means any individual possessing the prescribed qualifications appointed to perform the duties which may be performed by a secretary under this act and any other ministerial or administrative duties. And the second definition is, according to explanation from Oxford Dictionary, a secretary is a person who is employed to conduct correspondence on behalf of an individual or a company and also to execute filing, documentation and administrative functions. So these are the definitions for company secretary. The next is qualifications of company secretary. Since the amendment of the Companies Act in 1994, only a person having prescribed qualifications can be appointed as a secretary of a company. Apart from these statutory qualifications, he should also have other qualification as may be necessary to conduct the affairs of the company. Here, the qualifications of a secretary has been classified into two, that is statutory qualification and other qualification. Here statutory qualification is classified into two, that is company having a paid up share capital of rupees 5 crore or more, and the second one is in the case of any other company, that is 1 or more. Next we can see the statutory qualification. So here the definition is given. According to section 2 subsection 45 of the Companies Act of 2013, a company secretary must possess the qualifications which is prescribed by the central government from time to time. The qualifications prescribed by the Company Secretary Qualification Rules of 1975 for the secretary of a company are given. So here the first one is, it is given as company having a paid up share capital of rupees 5 crore or more. So here it is classified into two: members of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India or members of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries of London. So the first point is, in case of a company having a paid up share capital of rupees 5 crore or more, the secretary must be a member of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, which is incorporated under the Companies Act of 1956, and it should be licensed under section 25 of that act. And the second point is, a person who is a member of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries of London shall also be eligible for appointment as secretary of such a company. And in case of any other company, one or more, it is given as, in the case of any other company, one or more of the following qualifications shall have to be possessed by the secretary. The first point is qualifications specified in clause A above, and the second point is a degree in law granted by any university, and the third point is membership of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and the fourth point is membership of the Institute of Cost and Works Accountants of India, and the fifth point is a postgraduate degree or diploma in management or commerce which is granted by any university or the Indian Institute of Management, and the last point is a diploma in company law granted by any Indian law institute. Thus, these are the following qualifications should be possessed by the secretary. The next topic is other qualification. Under this, the statutory qualifications are not enough to become a company secretary. The secretary must be smart, unbiased, and must have high IQ besides presence of mind and amiable personality. Having reasonable proficiency in speaking and writing in different regional languages is an added qualification of a secretary. Besides, company secretary should have a thorough knowledge of a company law, mercantile law, economic law, labor law, and accounting and office management. The next is appointment of company secretary. As per section 2, subsection 24 of 203 and 204 of Companies Act of 2013, the provisions regarding appointment of company secretary are every listed company must have full-time company secretary. That is, every unlisted company and every private company having a paid up capital of rupees 5 crore or more must also have a full-time secretary. Only an individual who is a member of Institute of Company Secretaries of India can be appointed as a company secretary. Under this, it is given as promoters. So, the first secretary of a company is appointed by the promoters of pre-incorporation stage, and such name is mentioned in the Articles of Association. And the second one is by the first board of directors. After the company has been registered, the first board of directors appoints the secretary at the first board meeting. The board of directors can continue the existing secretary appointed by promoters or can appoint a new company secretary. Thus, these are all about the appointment of company secretary. Next, we are going to see the functions and duties of company secretary. Here, the functions of the company secretary may be discussed under two headings. The first one is statutory functions or duties, and the second one is non-statutory functions or duties. Here, statutory functions, it is classified into according to Company Act, under the Income Tax Act, under Indian Stamp Act, under the Sales Tax Act, and under Others Act. And in non-statutory functions, it has been classified into functions in relation to directors, functions in relation to shareholders, and the last one is functions in relation to office and staff. Now we are going to see the meaning of statutory functions. As the principal officer of the company, the secretary must observe all the legal formalities in respect of the provisions of the Companies Act and other laws. For example, Income Tax Act, Stamp Act, Sales Tax Act, etc., which have a bearing on the activities of the company. So this is called to be as a statutory function. Thus, in Companies Act of 2013, it includes to sign document and proceedings requiring the authentication of the company, to maintaining the share registers and register of directors and of contracts, to give notice to register for increase in the share capital, and the fourth point is to deliver share certificate of allotment within 2 months after the transfer, and the fifth point is to sign and send annual return, to make a statutory declaration for receiving certificate of commencement of business, and the seventh point is to send notice of general meeting to every member of the company, to make statutory books, and the ninth point is to prepare minutes of every general meeting and board meeting within 30 days, and the 10th point is to file a resolution with the registrar, and the last point is to assist in preparing the statement of affairs in a winding up. Thus, these are the formalities which comes under this Companies Act of 2013. Under the Income Tax Act, he is responsible for deduction of requisite income tax from salaries of employees, dividends and interest payable. He has to ensure that the tax deducted is deposited at government treasury. Secretary has to submit and verify various forms for timely filing of income tax returns to the authorities in accordance with the law. He has to see that the certificate of tax deducted at source, that is TDS, is issued to every employees and shareholders. These are the things which comes under this Income Tax Act. The next one is under Indian Stamp Act. That means the company secretary has to ensure that whether proper stamps are affixed on the company's documents like letter of allotment and share certificate or not. He is also complying with Minimum Wages Act, Industrial Disputes Act, Employees State Insurance Act, etc. And the third one is under the Sales Tax Act. Under this, he must ensure timely submission of tax returns to the sales tax authorities and payment of tax. And the fourth one is under Other Acts. Here, he must see that the provisions of any other act applicable to the company, for example, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, Industries Development and Regulation Act and rules are also complied with. Where the company is carrying on manufacturing business, he must also comply with the provisions of the Factories Act, Payments of Wages Act, Industrial Disputes Act and other labor laws. These are the different types of acts which comes under this statutory functions. Next, we are going to see non-statutory functions. Under this, the secretary has to discharge non-statutory functions in relation to directors, shareholders and office and staff. These functions are briefly mentioned under functions as agents of directors, functions towards shareholders, functions towards office and staff. Now we are going to see functions in relation to directors. Under this, a company's secretary acts under the full control of the board of directors and carry out the instructions of the directors. The secretary provides necessary advice and information to the board to formulate company policy and arrive at decisions. It is the secretary's duty to implement the decisions which is taken by the board of directors. The duties of the secretary, which includes arranging board meetings, issuing notice and preparing agenda of such meetings, recording the attendance of the directors and the minutes and resolution of the meetings in consultation with the chairman. He maintains all important correspondence, files, documents and records in the board office. These are the main duties which should be followed by the secretary. The next one is functions in relation to shareholders. Under this, the company secretary must serve in the best interest of the shareholders. He also must safeguard the shareholders' interest. Under the Companies Act of 2013, secretary should act as link between the board of directors and the shareholders and also ensure that the shareholders' rights are violated. He has to arrange the issue allotment letters, call letters, letters of regret, share certificates, share warrants to shareholders. Besides, he has to issue notices and agenda of all meeting of shareholders and also send replies to the inquiries and complaints of the shareholders on behalf of the board of directors. And the last one is functions in relation to office and staff. That means the secretary is the kingpin of the whole corporate machinery. He is responsible for smooth functioning of the office work. He exercises an overall supervision, control and coordination of all clerical activities in the office. This is called functions in relation to office and staff. Thus, these are the different types of functions which comes under this non-statutory functions. Now, assignment number 21. The first question is elaborate the functions of the company secretary. Elaborate the functions of the company secretary. And the second one is explain about the appointment of company secretary. Explain about the appointment of company secretary.